Hello everyone, Neil from BookBolt here, and in this video we're going to go over how to use the BookBolt Studio to replicate an interior. We saw this question pop up in the Facebook group, so I thought this would be a good idea for a video. Now this is the interior that we are going to be sort of replicating here. See, it has a calendar, it has some days and some lines. So this is super simple to do inside of the studio. So we'll notice that the first thing is we have a calendar, we have one line down the center, and we have 1, 2, 3 different sections here on the right. So let's go ahead and start that. So you can see that I am inside of the BookBolt Studio here, and for the most part we're going to just be using templates and text. So for the templates, we're going to open up the page templates here. You can see I have opened up a fitness calendar. Now this has nothing to do with fitness, but you'll see why I'm doing that in a minute. So we're going to place that on the first page. Make sure this is saved. Now you'll notice we're only going to work on this single page right here. Okay. Now, just because we're replicating this one page, we are going to start with this piece of calendar. It says March. Now you guys can do this different ways, but you want to select the template you have. And remember, we don't want to do a fitness calendar, so we only want the March. We're going to crop this. And I can zoom in here so you guys can see it. Let me fit this to the page. All I'm going to do is I'm going to crop down to March, as you can see if I zoom in, and I'm going to save it and uncrop. So now, if I fit this to the page, we have the March, and I can actually just make it bigger. Now, if you wanted to edit this text, you can put over, different rectangles, change them to the background color, and then add text over the top. But for now, we're going to keep this as is. So I'm going to put this kind of right here. We can play around with this later. I'm going to lock it so I don't mess with it in the future. Now, coming back to our other image, looks like we have a line down the middle and 1, 2, 3 different sections here. So let's start with those sections. In order to do that, again, we're going to use a template. I'm going to get rid of this. Ruled is really simple, so let's see here. These look wide enough, so we're going to select wide ruled. I'm going to place them on page 1 and submit it. Now this right now, not looking so good. But how many lines do we need for each section? We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's just do 8 per section here. So if I zoom in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I can then select these. And notice I didn't actually edit the contents yet. So it selects the entire template. I'm going to edit the contents. Do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can just highlight these. And I'm just going to resize them real quick to something decent, and I'm going to group those up. I'm going to fit to page, and I'm going to select all these other ones and delete them. Now, we have our section here, which is grouped up, so I can place these on the page, and you notice I can change them however big I want them. So I'm just going to copy this, paste it again, and paste it one more time. All right, so notice we want these to kind of line up with the center. That looks good enough for now. We can always play around with this later. Now, notice how this is really black text and these right here are not. So the easiest way to do this is actually come up in the top menu and change these to black. So I'm going to do the same thing for all 3 of these. Just change them all to black, make them a little bit more readable. Oops, I didn't do that one. There we go. All right, so now we have 3 black columns. And again, I'm going to lock these so I don't actually move them around the page. I can always unlock them later. Oops, I hid that one instead of locking it. All right, so now I have my 3 sections. We can do these in a few, but this is fairly easy. Now we need to add this 20, 21, and 22 with Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So very simple. We're going to come to the left menu, select text, select heading. Let's just put in, 20. I'm going to enter in a new line, Monday. That clearly doesn't look very good, right? So we're going to highlight it. We're going to come to the top menu. We're going to center it. Click OK. I probably want to select a different font. So I'm not going to do this for real. It would take way too long, but I'm just going to select one of the fonts I have uploaded here. Again, this is not looking too great. There's a lot of space in between here. Very easy change. Come to the top, select the text size, move this out of the way. You'll notice you can play around with the line height just like that, the font size, etc. Now, if you wanted this to be 2 different fonts, you could always add 2 different headings and line them up, but I think that's going to look pretty good, right? And then I can move this to there, little too big, so let me just move this up. Now, if I want to line everything up, A lot of people have issues with lining things up. What I like to do, come over to the left menu, add a vertical line. This vertical line, as you see, can be selected. And then I can just move it to, say, the center of the lines, and then this will snap directly to the middle. So we're going to do that. Okay, so I think that looks good. Now all we need to do is copy this, paste it, move it down, copy this, paste it, and move it down. Now notice how these lines down here, a little bit off the page. So what I might want to do is, because I ungroup these, or I mean I lock them, I am going to unlock these groups real quick. Unlock and unlock. I might want to resize these slightly. Okay, so maybe something similar to that. We'll move it right to the middle. Instead of going back and trying to change these, I'm literally just going to make this a little wider. Okay, this wider, boom, done. Okay, so I'm going to delete these and then take this section and paste it out. So now they're going to be all the same size. Okay. All right, so now everything is lined up properly. I do need to make sure that there's enough space here. Move this one down slightly. Now, we do need to change these. So this one should say 21 Tuesday. And this one should say 22 Wednesday. All right, so looks pretty good. Now we have the left menu. Also notice here, it looks like there is a line. So let's do that same line again. If we want to do this with the same width, we can simply take this. We're going to ungroup it real quick. I'm going to take a line, I'm going to copy it, I'm going to paste it. I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to regroup these. Okay, so now we have a single line. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn the line. Okay, so now it's going to be the same width. And all I need to do is actually extend it. Let me put this to the page so I can see everything. And move it to the center of the page. Right, like that. Done. All right, so now we have everything lined up. It's looking pretty good. Now, I'm not going to take the time to move this. You can if you want, but we're just showing you kind of how to do this inside of the studio. So next thing we need is, let me see, this says activities and fitness. This says goals. This says priorities. Again, super simple. I'm just going to copy and paste one of these. So I can do, you know, activities. Now again, I want to change that font to this one. Okay, copy paste, bring that down, copy paste, bring that down, and I can name these. So this one says priorities, goals, and the last one's activities. So priorities, goals, activities. Okay, so boom, boom. Again, if you want to line this up, an easy way to do this, just move that line to the center of this. And then these will snap to the middle. Okay. And then all you have to do, now again, you might want to move this down further. These have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. With some lines on it, you can either do these same lines or you can just come in here and do text, right? So you could do regular multi-line text. I like to stick with headings. I think it's much simpler. So I could just do 1 period and then a bunch of underscores like this. Now, this is very, very, very large. So you'd want to make it smaller, and you can change the font and the size here. Otherwise, you can do it like this to where you get rid of this. Maybe we will add a heading. Let's zoom in here. I'll just make this one 1. Okay, we'll make it very small. We'll move it over here. We will change this to the same font. And then I will not do a drawing. I will add a line. Now again, this line, much too big, right? So instead, maybe I'll select the middle line. Notice how it's 2 pixels wide. So I can come up here and change this one to 2. Click OK. Okay, and then I would want to resize this line. Let me move this over here. Boom. Okay, so then all you'd want to do here, maybe I want 1 period. Let's do that. Let's edit text. Okay, so let's just say you're happy with that. select them all, group the objects. Now they're grouped up, and now I can just copy and paste them, right? And you'd want to come in here and you need to change that, but you can't because it's grouped. So ungroup, edit text, to, etc. And then you can just step through. You can do the same thing for goals. Very, very, very simple. So let's just do one more line and I can just show you what this would look like. So again, we're going to ungroup this so we can edit the text. Edit text. I'm going to do 3. Okay. There we go. This line should be, now notice right here, these don't look right? So what we're going to do here, drag this over to where you want the line, and then you can just extend the line to our what do you call it, our guideline here, right? So we can fit this. This guideline is not going to print here. All right, so now we have the 1, we have the 2, and we have the 3. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to group all of these up, okay? And this one we have grouped up. So we have groups, groups, groups. Now I can just take all of these. I can group all the objects at once. And I can come over to the left-hand menu, use the clone, and I want to clone that 2 more times. So all I need to do is drop these down. Okay, we've done that one already. Where is our other group? Right there. All right, so we'll fit this. We'll move our other group. Now, I'm not going to take the time to actually come in and change these sizing, but as we see, if I come over here and I remove the grid lines here, so we'll just clear out the grid lines, you'll notice everything is lined up properly. Now, again, this is really, really quick explanation. I could add a little quote down here, add some text. You know, maybe I can come in here, add a heading, just say like, this is my design by me, right? Now that's way too big, but I'm going to just change the font to what we've been using, make this nice and small, put it in here. You know, you want to make sure everything's lined up properly. Then there you go. You have a full and complete design. And then if you wanted to copy and paste that to other pages, now I wouldn't recommend it because this one says March. All you have to do is right click and then clone this page to the rest. But that is how to use the studio to very, very quickly create your templates inside for your interior, either using lines, using text. We didn't use shapes in this menu. If you wanted to add, you know, a shape to this, you could add a rectangle and come up here, make this transparent, add a black stroke, and then you have a box. So a lot of people will use these instead of the templates, which also works great, but we're going to delete that. And that's it. So let me know if you have any questions down in the comments below. That's going to be all for today's video. Catch you guys in the next one. Thanks.